Cut the packing straps on the outer carton. Remove the outer carton. Cut the 2 packing straps securing the accessory box. Take out the accessory box and set it aside for later use. Cut the 4 straps securing the front wheel assembly. Take out the front wheel assembly and set it aside for later use. Untie the 2 straps fixed on the triple clamp and release the front shock absorber. Remove all fixing bolts at the bottom of the iron bracket using an M14 socket. Then remove the protective film and pearl cotton from the packaging iron frame and the vehicle body. Remove the straps, securing the gear shift lever, foot pegs, rear swing arm, and pearl cotton. Remove the front fender from the rear wheel and set the front fender aside for later use. Then remove the straps securing the right rear swing arm, pearl, cotton, and rear shock absorber. Remove the number plate fixed on the lower triple clamp. Set it aside for later use. Cut the straps securing the handlebar. Take out the handlebar and place it on the fuel tank. Hold the front wheel axle with an M14 open-end wrench. Then loosen and remove the front wheel axle nut with an M17 box-end wrench. Take out the front wheel axle and spacers and set them aside for later use. Find an assistant to lift the motorcycle onto the repair stand together for subsequent installation. Open the accessory carton and take out all parts for subsequent installation. Install the lower pressure blocks. Insert the bolts into the mounting holes from below the triple clamp. Tighten the bolts clockwise slightly and adjust the angle of the pressure blocks. Finally, tighten the bolts with an M8 hex wrench. Install the handlebar and upper pressure blocks. Remove the protective film from the handlebar and place the handlebar into the groove of the lower pressure blocks. To avoid scratching the handlebar, we will not show the removal process here. Ensure the handlebar is centered and symmetrical left and right with a suitable height. Place the upper pressure blocks onto the lower pressure blocks and install the bolts. Finally, tighten the bolts with an M6 hex wrench to secure the handlebar. Remove the bubble bag and protective film covering the hand grips. Install the front fender. Use an M8 socket to remove the 3 front fender mounting bolts under the lower triple clamp. Install the 3 bolts with flat washers and put the other 2 onto the respective 2 bolts. Use an M8 socket to fix the bolts through the front fender mounting holes to the lower triple clamp. Install the number plate. Use an M8 socket to remove the number plate mounting bolts from the bracket. Clip the front brake hose into the slot on the back of the number plate. Then, insert the 2 limit posts under the number plate into the limit holes of the front fender. Then, insert the 2 limit posts under the number plate into the limit holes of the front fender. Use an M8 socket to remove the 2 fixing bolts of the front brake caliper. Install the front wheel assembly. Unscrew the front wheel axle nut and remove the 2 front wheel spacers. Pass the front wheel axle through the lower leg of the right front fork, then fit the short front wheel spacer onto the axle. Lift the front wheel assembly, align the hub mounting hole with the front wheel axle, and pass the axle through the hub. Then fit the long front wheel spacer onto the axle. Finally, pass the axle through the lower leg of the left front fork and screw on the front axle nut. Hold the front wheel axle in place with an M14 open-end wrench, then tighten the front axle nut with an M17 box wrench to ensure it is fully secured. Remove the limit shim between the 2 brake pads, widen the gap between the brake pads with a flat blade screwdriver until the gap can fit over the brake disc smoothly. Align the gap between the brake pads with the brake disc and fit the brake disc into the gap. Then use the previously removed brake caliper mounting bolts to fasten the brake caliper to the lower leg of the left front fork. Use an M6 socket to loosen the 2 self-tapping screws securing the front brake hose clamp. Pry open the 2-piece brake hose clamp. Clip the front brake hose into the clamp. Then pull down the upper rubber boot of the hose and snap it into the clamp. Then return the clamp's fixing screws with an M6 socket. Install the rear shock absorber assembly. Unscrew the matching nut, then lift the rear wheel. Align the mounting holes of the rear shock absorber with the shock mounting holes on the swing arm. Pass through the fixing bolt and finally screw on the nut. Take the rear brake hose out of the hose clamp. Hold the rear shock absorber mounting nut in place with an M14 open-end wrench, then tighten it fully with an M13 socket. Clip the rear brake hose back into the hose clamp. Install the foot peg teeth. Straighten the bent end of the cotter pin with needle nose pliers. Then remove the cotter pin and the foot peg pin in sequence. Align the mounting holes of the foot peg teeth with the mounting holes of the foot peg mounting bracket and pass the foot peg pivot pin through the aligned mounting holes from front to back. Finally, insert the cotter pin into the pinhole, bend it with needle nose pliers to lock. Install the Kickstarter lever. Use an M10 socket to remove the mounting fixing bolt of the Kickstarter lever. Fit the Kickstarter lever onto the kickstart shaft. Press down the Kickstarter lever to the proper installation angle, screw on the mounting bolt, and tighten the bolt fully in place with an M10 socket to ensure a firm and secure fit. Install the side stand assembly. Remove the side stand mounting bolt with an M17 socket, align the stand and bracket holes, screw in the bolt, tighten with an M17 socket. Use a flat blade screwdriver to hook the side stand spring hook into the groove of the side stand locating post, ensuring it is fully seated without risk of loosening or disengagement. Install the chest protector cover, chest foam, and breathing tube. Insert the breather hose with breather valve into the fuel tank cap vent hole. Tear open the chest cover Velcro, take out the chest foam, pry open the gap, clip onto the handlebar crossbar. Rewrap the chest foam with the chest protector cover. Peel off the protective film on the rear part of the seat cushion, unscrew the quick release bolt at the rear of the seat cushion, remove the seat cushion, completely strip off the protective film of the seat cushion, then reinstall the seat cushion back to its original position and lock and tighten the bolt to ensure it is correctly seated without loosening. Finally, fix the left and right wire harnesses to the left and right main frame beams with frame cable ties. All installation procedures of the complete motorcycle are finished, and the full vehicle is fully assembled in place.